And we're live.
Sister friend. I've
never been so excited to talk. I feel like I haven't talked to you in a month and a half.
It's been so long.
Tanner just drowsily just peered into the room.
I saw he was playing guitar yesterday.
Yes, so much guitar has been played. But that's the least of our worries. We have so much to focus on. We need to talk weddings. We need to talk your gala. We need to talk Des Moines. We need to talk cattle show. We need to talk the mouse that was in my kitchen sink last night. Bus, club, another club, another club.
So this is my formal apology for not having an episode last week. I was busy.
She was booked and busy. We were all booked and busy.
This is Mom's Rolling Stone t-shirt from 2015, which was 9 years ago, which that sent me down a spiral this morning. I'll start, then you go, then I'll go, then you go. Okay. Let's think chronologically. We haven't talked in 2 weeks. Last weekend was my BFF Elinor's wedding, and it was amazing and beautiful and special, and I don't know what to say about it because it was a nice intimate ceremony and a very fun reception, and I took 2 days to recover.
So back up. So the wedding was on a Friday, right? So you went, did you go up on Friday?
So we went up on Thursday. We, Elinor's husband rented a car and drove all of us. Is Tanner making espresso right now?
Yes. Yeah, he just also popped in and was like, because he knows it's loud.
So
okay,
he drove us all the way out because it was in New Jersey, and at a cute little inn that George Washington may or may not have stayed at. That's their whole branding. Is George Washington might have slept here. Which is really crazy to base your whole branding on that.
Yes. Because it either needs to be he did or he did. You would think that they would be able to back it up with facts, not lore.
Yeah.
But
no,
maybe
and it's
legal...
town lore. It's a very small town. It's the size of our hometown, but in New Jersey. Uh-huh. And the lore is that I think it was probably during the Revolution. He might have slept at this inn. Maybe. Anyways, so there's a big sign when you pull up that's George Washington might have stayed here.
And that's actually so funny. It's just so funny that it's we're going to base our whole thing around the fact that George Washington might have been here one time.
No, exactly. And they have a big statue of a horse that's supposed to be this is his horse. This is where his horse might have stayed. Anyways.
Okay. And
so
you were the dress carrier.
Yes. So they have a small apartment, and Utsav, Elinor's husband, very nosy, and really wanted to see the dress. And Elinor just couldn't trust him to be in the same apartment as the dress because he would just look at it.
Yes.
And so it stayed in my apartment. I had the honor of keeping the dress. And my job was to bring the dress from Manhattan to New Jersey. And so I just walked around like this all day. And my arm was legitimately sore the next day because the dress is so heavy. But I didn't want it to obviously it was in a garment bag, but I didn't want it to
yeah, you don't even want the garment bag to get dirty, yeah.
Yeah, so I was the dress carrier. I was one of her bridesmaids. And we had the rehearsal dinner that night. And we had the wedding on a Friday, which I love a wedding on a Friday. I love it because Saturdays, recovery, I was pretty hungover. We were out really late. And then I still had Sunday to live my life. I don't know. I'm such a big proponent for a Friday wedding now. It's so fun. And also when you're in the bridal party and you have to kind of have the rehearsal dinner on a Thursday, it's just an extended vacation.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, the ceremony was really nice. It was super intimate. It was just 52 people, which 52 people sounds kind of like a lot of people. But then when we're all together sitting, it's not that many people. Mm-hmm. It's 7 tables. I did all of the flowers, so I did all the bouquets, all the centerpieces, all the boutonnieres. Mm-hmm. Zoe and I were both in garden club in high school. And
elementary school.
Oh, I did it all the way into high school.
Oh, okay, go off.
No, maybe I definitely did it in middle school. I don't. Maybe
There
not
were
high
definitely
school.
like things that we helped with, but like it wasn't like you were like going to meetings in high school, right? I thought it was like a fifth and sixth grade adventure.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But we did like the competitions. Like Kimber and I specifically went to a couple different competitions,
Oh, okay. I never did that.
and yeah, it was mostly because Mary Lee and Kimber's mom were like close, and Kimber's mom would just like make us do things like do day camps and like random outdoorsy things because she works for the Soil Water Conservation District. And so I don't know why we got like dragged into doing competitions, but it got us out of school.
Amazing.
I distinctly remember one competition where we had to make, it was like Candyland themed, and we had a hot glue gun and we were hot gluing M&Ms to like sticks that we were gonna like put in our arrangement like 3 minutes before we had to go into the competition, and we were like doing it outside in the parking lot, and it was just like a mess. But anyways, and we had, did you not do it at the fairgrounds?
I guess I did like one or two times maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, at the fair you would submit your arrangements and then
Yeah.
they'd be judged.
Yeah, I guess I did that.
Anyways, it all came back to me. It all
Amazing. So did you have
proved
guidance, or did you guys just get flowers and put them together?
we just got flowers, so it's like the company she
Even like her bouquet?
Yeah.
That looked professional. Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, I get like fresh flowers like somewhat recently, or somewhat regularly. So I'm like pretty familiar with the caring process of a bouquet, but yeah, it took me about 3 hours to make 5 bouquets. It took me about an hour to make 8 boutonnieres. And then I did the centerpieces, but the centerpieces were super simple. It was just 3 bud vases with a rose, some baby's breath, and a piece of eucalyptus. So those were like pretty simple, but we threw those together kind of last minute. And then like they had a sweetheart table, and I decorated the front of that with flowers as well. So I'm a florist.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so you got your hair, your makeup done. And where was your dress from?
My dress was from Lulu's.
Because I loved that dress. It was beautiful.
What I love about Lulu's is, so it's like not the best quality, but a lot of the times with these dresses, I know I'm really only going to wear them a couple of times. Same with the dress I wore for the gala on Thursday. It's like, and when am I going to wear a black floral dress like that, to the ground? I'll probably never wear it again. Maybe I'll wear it like one more time. And so they're like pretty cheap, but I feel okay about it being pretty low quality because
yeah,
I'm only going to wear it like once or twice. So I got it from there. I also love it because I just like know my size, and the length is always perfect. Like I knew I wasn't going to have to get it altered because they just like fit well for, I'm 5'5.5".
That's annoying.
So.
They never fit me in length. That's like my one hang up with Lulu's, is because then I'm like, it's a cheap dress, but like if I'm gonna have to pay more to get it altered than the dress is worth.
Yeah. No, I have got, like there's law school prom every year, so I get like a long gown for that. And so I just knew like the length would be right on. So yeah, we all had gotten our dresses like kind of separately and like from different places, and they all just like looked nice together, which was a miracle. Because her colors were sage green, but sage green can still vary.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I loved my makeup.
It looked, it looked so good with like your skin tones.
I know. I took lots of pictures, so when we get our makeup done for your wedding, I'm gonna be like, I want to look like this.
Yeah, do this again.
I'm gonna do like I have the same reference photo, and then me, and I'm gonna be like, I want to just look like this.
Yeah, redo it.
I didn't love my hair, but it's not about me.
Yeah.
So I went first, and I was like, oh, I want a bun, some pieces down, and I liked it. But then I saw everybody else with just like their hair down, and I was like, I wish my hair was just down.
I have always seen that in weddings that I'm in. It's like the first couple of people go, and then people start adjusting what they're doing based off of what they've seen. And yeah, because sometimes it's like everyone will do an updo except for like 1 or 2 people, and then it's down, and then it's like am I going to look weird because my hair is down and everyone else is up, or like the other way around?
Yeah.
And, yeah. But.
And for us, it was 2 did half up, half down, and 2 did updos. So we looked good that way. But I just think now for your wedding, I just want to have it like down. Mm-hmm. This was like my trial run.
Yeah. And now
for your wedding. Or like maybe like a few pieces pulled back. But I did wish, I was like, I kind of wish my hair was all the way down. I still liked it.
I saw a video the other day that was like, if you are getting married and you're a bridesmaid before, like do whatever you want for your hair and your makeup. Like as a test run, and the comments were like, oh my gosh, you should never do your hair, blah, 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 like the bride. I'm like, how is the hair different from like the bride versus like, it's all the same. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was so funny. Like the comments were like, people were all over the place. But then also I think some people like misunderstood the context and thought like you were doing like some hairdo that the bride didn't want or something. I don't know. It was like, it was so funny because I was like, yeah, that's obviously what you should do.
Well, and Elinor is like just the most chill bride in the whole world. Mm-hmm. And she was like, do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't care. And so we all kind of did what we wanted. But I was so impressed with the makeup artist because we all had like very different skin tones and different skin textures. And I thought all of our makeup looked great on everyone. Awesome. And I was like, that's the testament of a very good makeup artist.
Yeah. Was your makeup like flawless still at the end of the night, would you say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Isn't that wild how like when you have someone else do your makeup, it's like, oh, you can actually make this stick.
I know. I actually went and I bought the setting spray that she used because I was like, wait, because when I go to work, I feel like my makeup just like melts off.
Yes.
But yeah, it was really nice. The reception was like all Taylor Swift, which is amazing. It's like my favorite songs.
Awesome.
And it was just really sweet meeting her sisters and her dad again, and just like a weekend full of love, celebrating love.
Yeah. Were there any like snafus? Any like, oh no, we forgot to.
So it was supposed to be outside, and it did rain. So it was under a tent, but like I don't think that really took away from the ceremony at all. And for Elinor, a sign of, so her mom had passed away last year, and a sign to her of like her mom being omnipresent is a rainbow. And she had a rainbow at her engagement on the day she got engaged. There was a rainbow the day she got married, like at the courthouse, and then there was a double rainbow.
Oh my! Excuse me as I cry.
I know.
That's so
at
sweet.
Her wedding, and it was like the most prominent. Like you could see every single color. Like I feel like very rarely do you actually see like the purple and the rainbow, and it was just like you could see the whole thing. It was so cute, and I mean her sisters were crying, and
that is.
I know.
That's so nice.
I know. And the maitre d', who's kind of like the event planner, just kept remarking like, you two are the greatest people to work with. You're so chill. You're so, like most brides, when it's supposed to be outside and it's raining, they'd be freaking out. And Elinor was just like, we'll use the tent. Who cares? Like, It doesn't matter. And then he was like, he is the one that said there was a rainbow, and he said it like flippantly, like, oh, and there's a rainbow outside. And Elinor was like, there's a rainbow outside? And so we all like went outside. And he was like, that was like the most special moment for me. And it's like, it was special for you. And it was just a lovely night. And it was, love was in the air. We were celebrating love.
Awesome.
And it was really cool. Utsav's brother was the officiant. And he had just said something about how crazy it is that a family from Indiana and a family from the middle of India are like now one family. And it is really crazy how like the families, like obviously you come together for the wedding, but just on complete opposite sides of the world are now tied together.
India and Indiana. That's
I know.
That's yeah.
It is like it's wild to think about things like that, but
yeah,
it was really lovely. And now I'm so excited for your wedding because I'm like, weddings are so fun. I hadn't really been to a wedding and a part of one where I was like over 21 and like kind of had like a more active role.
Yeah.
So I'm just very excited for your wedding.
Awesome. Okay, so
Your trip, you went to Iowa.
yes, I think this was my first time in Iowa, but also like I'm a person that like I never remember where I've been. So I could have also been in Iowa before. It wouldn't surprise me had I been there. But yeah, so flew out Monday morning, got in around 11. So this was the John Deere Creators Day event. So basically they took like, I'm not even sure how many of us farmers there were, probably like 6 or 8 farmers, and then some construction workers, and then some tech content creators. And basically it was like the first night we had a dinner and we all just like met each other. And I met Laura Wilson is like, I would
I'm
say
now
like,
a follower of her.
she is like the largest female farmer creator there is. She has like a huge following on YouTube. And like, I would say like, she's like, I don't know, she's very cool. And we've interacted online and stuff before, but this is the first time meeting in person. And it was like, I won't speak for her, but for me, it was like, we like made eye contact and we were both like just giddy to see each other. Just because we hadn't met in person. And it's so weird being like, I know about your life, you know about my life, but we've never actually like in face interacted. But it's always like so funny. It's like everyone I meet, I'm like, oh, you're 100% you. Like they're just that person, just like standing in front of you. So weird. But had a dinner the first night, met some construction people, and then the first day we went out to it's called like Jensen Farms, and it's like a test facility. And so basically they had a sprayer with like see and spray technology. They had an X9 combine where you would do I always forget what it's called, machine sync, where they have the grain cart that drives next to it and you just push a button and then the tractors like sync up. And I should be using that this fall, so it was nice to like run that again. They had an autonomous tractor there that I rode in.
That's scary.
They had a planter that has all these cameras on it, and basically like it shows you like in the furrow what's going on. And so like as far as like the farming equipment, like so cool to see that stuff. I will never be able to afford those things. Yeah. And so it was one of those things where it was like very cool, very awesome. But like as we were talking to the construction guys, they're like, oh, how do you utilize this technology? I'm like, oh, I am not utilizing this technology, if you will. But like so cool to experience it. And then I ran an excavator.
Can I ask who is utilizing this technology? Is it like those really big farm crews that like go across?
Yes. Also, like honestly, like most of the people there, they just have the newer technology. They're just I don't know, rich. No, just like
like bigger farmers.
Just larger farmers or people that can afford it. Pretty much. Like for me, it's like not something that's in my budget at this time. And then, so like tried out some construction stuff. It was really cool. They have like, I know nothing about construction, but they were talking about like, they have this thing called like auto dig. So basically it's like you set in these like points and like your machine will beep at you and won't dig deeper. So like if you're tearing up like a sewer line, you know where that line's at, like you'll say like, don't go to this point because like, you know, you want it to grade. So basically grade is like how deep you want it to be. And so then like the bucket will like adjust for you and like pull in. So it's like perfectly level at whatever grade that is. And so basically like with all the farm tech, like everything's like on top of the ground. It's like, you know, you're positioning in the row and stuff like that. But like for the construction, it's like 3D basically. Like you have to worry about height and, you know, a lot of things that like I don't think about in farming. So it was really cool running that stuff. And so that was the first day. It was pretty much like, it was just like free range, like all day, get whatever content you want to get, film whatever you want to film, explore, like you do you. And it was a little overwhelming just because it was like, there was so much to do. You were like I was like in a tractor. They were giving me like coaching how to do stuff, while also like the guy in the cab would like hold my phone for me and try to film for me. And so like I haven't tried to edit my footage yet, but I know a lot of it is like me awkwardly being like, do I push? And then so there'll be lots of voiceovers and like weird angles, because like there was just so much going on. I should have brought a tripod that I like stuck in the window, so I could have like had one less thing to be worrying about. I just, for whatever reason, didn't think about bringing a mount. Rookie mistake next time. But it was super hot, super windy out. I was sure I was gonna have like a wind burn on my face, because like my face was like stinging. So that was the first day, and then we went to dinner in separate groups. So we had like a farm group, construction, tech, went to our own dinners. And that was great.
How was the food?
Oh, so good. We went to like a steakhouse.
It's like a steakhouse?
Yeah, it was very nice. And so it was like nice kind of getting like, it was nice that they would like pair us off into different things, and it was like you got good combinations of stuff. So then the second day, it was like the construction day. So basically the construction guys did like a panel. They introduced themselves, like what their businesses are like, taught us about construction. And then we were supposed to do an activity where we were like building a pond, but it was raining. So we pivoted, and they just basically they like leveled, they had a whole bunch of stone, and they leveled and graded stone on a driveway, just as like a, like we got to watch them operate all the machinery, which was like very cool, because like when we were operating it, obviously it wasn't very efficient or smooth, and like they knew exactly what they were doing. So that was cool. And then we toured a factory where they make cotton pickers and sprayers, and basically like what they were showing in the factory is like everything is like on the cloud. Everything is like what's the term they were used? It was mistake proofing. Mistake proofing was like this big thing they were touching on. So like basically like as a cotton picker goes down through the line, like you take an iPad and it like videos the parts, and like it like AI picks up all the different things to like, and you just like check off boxes of like, yes, these things are in the right spot. They like showed us this machine where it's like when you're tightening bolts, there's like a torque reader on the thing. So it's like on the computer, it's like you see a checklist, and it's like, it was like 5 of 6 bolts torqued correctly. And so it's like basically like if you took a person and it's like the first day in the factory, and it's like, hey, you need to tighten 45 bolts on this piece, and then you move on to the next one, you need to tighten 45 bolts.
You'd be afraid they would like miss some.
Yeah, or you forget, and it's like a long step process, but it's like, it's all just like so thought out, and it's just so smart. And then they have like this FID tracking. So basically like if you need to take parts from this spot to this spot, like everything has like a card reader on it. You can like see exactly where stuff are. They have robots. So like you would be like, oh, I need more nuts. And you would like type into your screen that you need more nuts. And this robot would go find the nuts, grab them for you, bring them back. And then they'd be like in the spot. Like just so cool. And cause it's like this ginormous factory, and basically it's like you're saving so much time of just like you walking to go get the bolts, and like knowing exactly where the bolts are, and like I don't know, it was just very cool. And I hope someday that they can like transfer this into like the technology we have, because like I'm only in the planting tractor for 9 days out of the year, and so when I get back in it, I'm like, okay, I need to push what buttons in what order, and what's the speed I want to go. Like I hope someday like on the screens it can be like you get in, it's like, okay, did you check the oil, did you check the tire pressure, did you like do these things, because that would help me so much. Like I hope someday they can kind of like push that to our equipment. I think that would be great. Another thing with like the construction equipment, they were showing this thing where so they have cameras on the back of the equipment, and so basically like on a job site, people are always walking around, and of course, like if you're going in reverse, like it always beeps, but now it has cameras, so like if someone walks by and they're behind you, it beeps really loud. And I was like, I would love that for farm equipment too, just because you do hear horror stories of people getting ran over because they're not where you would expect them to be. And like if you're in a piece of equipment, you can't see right behind you. You wouldn't know.
That's so scary.
And I was just like, oh, like I hope this gets put on our equipment too. And like with all the cameras, all the tech that like they're making, like I hope they start to like transfer that over to like the ag side.
Yeah, imagine if like dad's dad could see, like our grandpa could see the technology, just the technology in the last 100 years.
Well, and like
went from like literally like combines with 3 rows to like autonomous tractors. Like it's crazy.
It's like the See and Spray, it's like 35 cameras per inch, or I might have that wrong, but it's like there's so much cameras, like the cameras, they see the weeds and they spray them as you're driving 15 miles an hour. Like, it's wild. Also,
well, and imagine like 100 years from now, the farmers won't leave their office. They like do everything from a desk.
Yeah, they'll send their tractors
out. It'll be like a video game.
100%. Yeah. And like that's pretty close. Like now, like
Rowan's grandkid is gonna be like, I'm sorry, you went to the field? That's embarrassing.
Yeah, you drove to the fields. Oh my goodness. No, it's amazing. And just like in the combine, like I have to change all these settings to like make sure that like the grain quality is good. And it's like the chaffer and the sieve and the fan speed, like all these things you have to adjust. Well, these new tractors do it for you. And like that's something I'm always so stressed about, because it's like I can't remember what I need to do. And it's basically like I could call in the 16-year-old I have working for me, throw him in any piece of equipment, the tractor's gonna do it all. I don't have to worry about him knowing what to do or me knowing what to do. Like, but of course the whole time I'm thinking like also like it's so many sensors, it's so many cameras, it's so many things to go wrong.
It's so much could break. Yeah,
and because like if we have like one broken sensor on the planter, we might be done for the whole day. We can't do anything. So I was also like,
that's also what scares me with like autonomous tractors. I'm like, oh, it's so cool, there's nobody there, or like you're not driving it, and then all of a sudden it's like, what if something malfunctions and then you're like going onto the street and like you know, or you go into a different person's field, or you go into a creek, you know, scary things like that.
So like for this, I like being in it, experiencing it, like it's very much like over safe, if you will. Like, so it was just doing tillage, and basically like every time the wind picked up, it would stop, because it would assess, and it would be like, oh, the weather conditions have changed. And basically
it's like the Tesla, where it's like you can tell that your eyes are on the road.
Exactly.
And it won't let you do autonomous driving. It's like almost too safe.
It's like almost too safe, whereas like I think you could actually be at this moment with the weather conditions I saw, it'd be probably more efficient to drive it yourself. But like if it's at night, they're driving 24/7. Like, okay, are you really going to care if you slow down for like 2 minutes here and there for it to like readjust? Like, probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so really cool tech. The whole thing was, and so second day we did this construction thing, and then we went to one of the John Deere offices, and we had a dinner made by season 4 Top Chef winner.
Okay.
It was like farm to table. It was a lot of local ingredients. It was like a whole bunch of different courses. Everything was delicious. Like we were in pain because we ate so much. So that was really cool. I also met the CTO. He was on the trip. So the Chief Tractor Officer. Have you heard anything about the CTO?
No.
Okay. So basically, a couple months ago, John Deere put out this thing. So basically, they're trying to get a presence on TikTok, and they haven't yet. And so they devised this plan to have a CTO, Chief Tractor Officer, and this person is going to go around to farms, share the story of ag on TikTok. And so it's like this 1-year position, and people applied by filling out an application, and one of the parts was making a like TikTok video saying like why you should be the next CTO. And a lot of them like went viral. There was a ton of applications. And so the day after we left, they announced the CTO. And there was a lot of backlash. There was a lot of people that were like not happy, not thrilled. There was a lot of mean comments online. And I'll say, this is my opinion. Obviously, I'm not speaking for John Deere. I'm not speaking for them. Like, I met Rex. His name's Rex. He's like Gen Z to a T. He's adorable. And he's not a farmer. He just graduated college with a degree, something in sustainability. He's in a band. On his TikTok, he molds figurines out of Baby Bell cheese wax.
Okay.
So he's not a farmer.
Does he work in ag?
No, he just graduated college. So
why did he apply?
So John Deere was looking for a content creator. They were looking for someone to learn about farming and share them learning about farming online.
Fair.
And I didn't look at the application, so I don't know.
Especially if they want it to go mainstream and not stay on just like farm talk.
And that's what they're trying to do. The whole push is to reach the young kid, the person who isn't on a farm. It's to reach that wider audience, is my understanding.
Yeah.
And so that's why they wanted him. I think a lot of the people, when they applied in the videos that we were seeing, were the people saying like, I should be the CTO. These are my qualifications. I grew up on a farm. I'm also working in media. I want to promote ag because, coming from a place of like, I am from the ag industry. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, they may have been looking at some of those people and Rex, or they may have just wanted someone kind of more in Rex's position, a learning position, as opposed to like
CTO.
Yeah, we should have had you apply.
I should have applied.
Yeah, but I think the backlash came because John Deere, the audience that they already have, is a little bit of a conservative demographic. Rex is baggy jeans, trendy clothes, curly hair, long hair, adorable. But like that's not, I think, what people pictures in their mind of what they were going to get versus what they got was different. And then of course everyone has to put their 2 cents out there. There was like lots of just mean comments towards him, saying that like this whole John Deere thing was like a flop. And I don't know. And like, I would say like I kind of saw this coming. But I think maybe had they in the beginning said, this is the type of person that we're looking for, maybe some of the backlash wouldn't have been there.
Rex will bring awareness to the people and industries who work tirelessly to support all of us every day. Oh, yeah. I see a picture of Rex.
Yes, and he's just super nice, super personable. Like, he wants to
learn.
So
he was there?
Yes. So he was at the whole event too, talking to us, talking to everyone, getting video content that will be posted.
Hold on. Closing the loop, because the search for the CTO was launched in April with the help of quarterback Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Which is the namesake to Turdy Lou.
Oh, is that?
Wow.
Okay. And so like I think when they saw like Brock Purdy's working on this, they have Justa Jackson thing, who's this like 8-year-old who's like a tractor savant. Like, I think the people that they had like working on this were like from the farming industry, and so I think people just like kind of thought, I don't know.
It was going to be a farm influencer.
Yeah. I hope as he continues to post and like people get to know him, they're like, oh, okay, this is awesome. So I'm hoping this is just like some initial uncalled for backlash, and I don't know, but yeah, that was that.
Well, I'm excited to follow the CTO. I think this is going to be new and exciting.
Yeah, no, I think so too, and it's like I think they want that fresh face. They're trying to get that younger audience.
Yeah, the problem is if you have like, no offense, Dad, but like an old farmer, like you're not going to attract anybody new. It's going to be the same.
Correct. Yeah. They're trying to break out into a wider audience.
Same audience.
And so the audience, it's that balance of like, do you please I don't know, but that's that. But
I have a question.
Yes.
How was your spray tan?
Oh my goodness, we didn't talk about the spray tan. Spray tan was good. So Man,
anyways, the rest of your trip. Hold on. Was the rest of your trip okay?
We didn't even talk about my dress fitting and stuff. No, trip was awesome. I am very tired. It was very overwhelming. I was the first person to go to bed every single night because I am a lame person. No, just like, I know, like, it was like very cool people, and like I probably would have gotten stuff out of like having late night conversations with these people, like, because I definitely gained a lot of information just talking to them all day. But I was like, every single night I was so tired. I've been on this steroid, and then every night I would go to bed and I could not fall asleep at all. So I had horrible nights of sleep for the last like 3 weeks. Just every night is horrendous. I think it's just because the steroids and like stress, and I need to just like calm myself down. But yeah, anyway, that was that. Spray tan. So I got that. I had my wedding dress fitting 2 Thursdays ago. Like not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before. So yeah. I got a spray tan 2 days in advance. So the last time I got a spray tan, I got one of those like automated spray tans when I was in college at like a Palm Beach tan. And I just went with a friend because she had like a formal, and she was like scared to go by herself. And I was like, I'll go get a spray tan. Like that'll be fun. And that one was fine. I like don't really remember much about it. I do remember like my friend, like she had like this like the cap on, and the cap there was like a bold line because she hadn't like pushed it up to her hairline. And I got like an in-person spray tan, like maybe I think when I tried out for Ohio State cheerleading, I had gotten like a spray tan because like you just have to look your best, if you will. And being orange is part of that. No, but so I need to get a spray tan for the wedding. I already have a farmer's tan going on. Also, people were saying that a spray tan won't even out a farmer's tan, but other people are saying it will. And the lady who did my spray tan was like, we'll just double coat the paler areas and just like ombre it out, if you will.
Is this why you're wearing tank tops these days?
No, it's just 100 degrees here, and I was like, something has to change. I was just so incredibly hot this whole week that yesterday I went shopping and I got 2 tank tops. But
okay, spray tan.
So getting a spray tan is such a humbling experience because basically
I've never gotten a spray tan in my life. So
basically you have to go into a room, get naked to your level of comfort, and then put a hair net on. And like, I've never met the person who did my spray tan. I don't know if it'd be better or worse if it was someone that I regularly, I don't know. Just weird having an adult see you pretty naked in a room with a shower cap on. So comes in, and you have to like stand in these, like literally you have to do like running man to this side, running man to this side, stand like this, stand like this. And so it's just like standing in weird positions. The spray tan machine, incredibly cold, and so it's like you're cold, you're freezing, and they're spraying this stuff on you, but it takes like probably 3 minutes of embarrassment, and then like the one I got, it like dried instantly, so it was like I could throw my baggy clothes on, go pay, and it's like, of course, you like the one I got too was like instant bronzing, which basically just like I like looked a completely different shade when I walked out. And then I did notice like a little bit of like my hairline. I could just like see where it was. So I wonder if like I can figure out a way to like buff it into my scalp a little bit. But
you should take a makeup brush, and as soon as you're done, like buff it in. Yeah,
I had thought of that. And so when I got done, I was like, hey, like was there different types? Because she didn't ask me any questions. She's like, oh, I just did a medium because you already had like a little bit of color, which I had a little bit of excess spray tan residue on me is what I had. That was the color I had. So I think I might try it another time before the wedding and get the light.
Yeah.
Because I liked what the spray tan looked like 4 days post the spray tan, but that's when it also started to like wear off a little bit in spots. So like, I think I do want to try another one, just the lighter version. So also it was like an 8 to 12 hour setting time. And like, so I got the spray tan at like 4 p.m. Like 8 hours was midnight, 12 hours was like 3 in the morning. And basically she said like once you get to 12, like you can just sleep in it. Like it doesn't go any more past that. But at like 5, 6, like it was getting very dark. And she said that like once you wash it off, it'll be like a little bit lighter. But I was getting like very worried. Like it was giving blackface a little bit. And I was just like, I don't want to look like a fool. So at 7 hours, it was like 10 p.m. I was tired. I just showered it off. So I could have also waited a little bit longer. But I don't think I needed to like be any darker than I was. But like an amazing evenness, like my hands, because like when I do my spray tan myself, it's like there's always like a harsh line or weirdness on my hands and my wrists and like my feet and my ankles and stuff. And so it was very even. I really liked that. It's amazing how much more confidence I have when my legs are like 6 shades darker than they are naturally. I will say too, like, so I had shaved and exfoliated and stuff the day before, and I always get razor burn no matter what I do, every time I shave. You could see it was like black dots where like the spray tan was, because it was like the spray tan like sunk into like my pores, if you will. Yeah. And so I'm not sure if there's like any way to go about combating that. Like, I don't know, shaving a couple of days before and then just like you just have kind of hairier legs, but they're darker, like the give and the take. I'm not sure what's up there. But yeah, overall happy with it. But like right now it's like 99% gone. When I showered yesterday, like as I was exfoliating, I was like watching it come off. But I would say it was like super even for like 6 or 7 days. I meant to like really document it so that I would like really know, just because like I think it was like $45-$50. So it like compared to like I can buy a bottle of self tan for like $12 at Walmart. So it's like it's very expensive. And then of course, like me being me, I'm like, okay, if I just bought the spray tan equipment, it's not like how many spray tans would I need to give myself to like save money, and then I could do it in the comfort of my own home. I think I could do most of it, but I couldn't do my back, so then I'd have to have like Tanner do it. But like I'd probably be more comfortable with Tanner giving me a spray tan than like some rando. Stranger. And then I could do it whenever I wanted to. And so like there is a part of me that's like just tempted to get a spray tan.
Shannon Ford has like the whole thing.
And that's why I was like, well, if Shannon can do it, I can do it. So I don't know, like I am tempted to just like reach because I really did like the spray tan. It was definitely better than like what the self tan stuff I've been doing. So I don't know, I'm tempted to invest. And then I can give us all spray tans, and I don't know, maybe I'll start another business.
And have you give me a spray tan. I know I've gotten pretty good at my own self tan application. But maybe I'll get a spray tan one day. Yeah, what I did get is a facial, and that changed my life.
Okay, so this is my thing. I got a few facials before, and it was like the dermaplane, like so they shaved your face or whatever. And it was like basically I went to someone, I got it done. I like rebooked a couple more times, and every single time it was like I just had sensitivity. We ended up like taking out different steps because my skin would react poorly, and then it was like, well, I'm paying the same price. And I wasn't seeing my skin like improve. I was just felt like I was going to get my skin beat up. But I saw you Snapchatted me when you got done with your facial, and your skin was glowing and looking amazing. So like I need like, what did they do?
So it's a place called Glow Bar. You show up, they have a sink, you wash your face, and then it can take between like 30 minutes and 45 minutes. Oh, hello, Freb. And they do like different for everyone else. So I went with my friend Kristen, and we had like different experiences. Kristen goes every single month. She has like a monthly membership. I used her guest pass, so I'm like not a regular. It was my first time. But Kristen's like really into skincare, really into taking care of her skin. So this is like something she's like willing to invest in. And I was just like along for the ride. And so like she gets the dermaplane because that's like what her skin needs. I did not get a dermaplane because like I don't have hair on my face, I guess, or like dead skin cells. I don't know. Okay. She looked at my skin. She's like, you have really nice skin. We talked through like what my skincare routine. She said I had a bit of congestion in my nose and on my chin. And so we did like a couple masks. We did some popping of my blackheads.
Extractions.
I was under the red light for a minute. And I left literally glowing. My skin had never looked so good. And I went out in disgusting midtown air, and I just felt like everything good was like going away because the just New York air is just gross.
Yes.
And I just felt like it was like clogging my pores. And then immediately, like 3 days later, I had Elinor's wedding, and I definitely felt like the makeup had also just like completely.
Yeah. Well, so
set back what
I
had
felt
done.
like I didn't want to say anything in the moment as you were doing it, but like for me, if I get a facial, it's like then I break out the next couple of days because it's like you're bringing all this stuff to the surface.
Yeah.
And so I was like a little afraid that you were gonna like, if they did a whole bunch of extractions and like roughed your face up, but
no, I'm
yeah,
very, very fortunate in the skin department. I never really suffered from bad acne, just like occasional pimples here and there. And my skin can take a good amount of like stuff. My like body skin can be sensitive sometimes because I'm like a picker, but I feel like my face it can take product and it can take popping and things and it's fine. And if I come into some money and I win the lottery, I would become a member of Glow Bar because it was just like the height of luxury.
Is this
and
a
it was
chain?
so relaxing. Yes.
Okay.
I think they have them like also in DC.
Okay.
But I know if your skin wasn't so sensitive, I would suggest that we go together when you're in New York. But
and I'm not opposed because a lot of places like do have like a sensitive skin.
Yeah, and they talk you through, I mean, everything they do before you do it, and so you can always be like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really lovely. I was like, this is like height of luxury. This is pristine.
So okay,
what
so
else do we have to talk about? So I had an event on Thursday. Yeah. I did. We had a black tie soiree.
I loved that dress that you wore. That was
Thank
so
you.
pretty.
The attire was botanical black tie.
Was anyone wearing the same dress?
Yes.
Okay.
One person was wearing the same dress, which my friends were like, well, that means that you won. Because, that means you had the best dress because someone else also thought it was the best dress.
Yes, that's true.
But it was fine. There was 900 people, so it was, like, so big that, like, I saw her one time, and then I was like, love your dress. And then I never saw her again. But it was really nice. We had the DJs are these two sisters, and they're just, like, proof that God has favorites. Like, the most beautiful specimen I've ever seen in my entire life. Just, like, the two hottest girls. And their sisters. And their DJs. Like, that's not fair.
What kind of music did they play at a gala?
It was everything. It was, like the greatest hits. There was Journey. There was ABBA. There was Beyonce. There was Dua Lipa. Like, it was... And they never play, like, a full song. They play, like, a chorus and a couple verses of, like, very popular music, and then they would, like, fade into the next song.
Which is always kind of, like, what you need. Like, you don't have to... Full songs
because if you didn't know the song, it's, like, you really only had to listen to, like, 45 seconds of it, and then it'd be a new song. But, yeah, they were great. The food was really good. The drinks were really good. It was a good time. Nice. We only have one more event, and then we're, like, done for the summer season. We start getting summer Fridays in 2 weeks. It's going to be a good time.
Nice.
Do you have 4th of July plans?
I don't think so. I know, that's coming up. Oh, we still need to talk about the beef show, too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The 4th of July is in 2 weeks. I'm going to be in the nation's capital.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I have no plans. It's a Thursday. I'll probably be working. I don't know. So, yeah, so anyway, so on Friday, I went down to Ohio State's, the fairgrounds. So basically in July, the 30th at the Ohio State Fair, they're doing the Dean's Charity Steer Show. And so it's put on by the Dean of CFAAS, which is the College of Food, Agriculture, and Environmental Sciences at Ohio State. So basically,
Which Zoe is alum.
Yes, I am alum from there. And so this is the 4th year that they're doing it. And it's basically like the dean puts on an event to raise money for a cause. And she didn't want to do, no offense, like a random gala or like a golf scramble. She wanted to do something a little bit different. So 2019 was their first steer show. And they've done 4 because they had some time off with COVID. And in those 4 years, they've raised over, I think, $500,000 for Ronald McDonald House of Central Ohio, which I hadn't been to the Ronald McDonald House. I knew what they did, and I know a couple of people that have like spent time there, if you will. So basically, there's this steer show. It'll be comprised of like different teams, and so I was the latest addition to any team. Basically, it's like you have a sponsor. They're the people with the money. I'm with IGS, which is like a propane natural gas energy service. And then there was like McDonald's and Duchess and Ford of wherever. And basically like I think they have to do like a substantial donation. They get a team, and then they get a 4-H kid who will have the actual steer, and then they get a media person. And so for all the other teams, it was like the person from 10 TV News and like the person who hosts this radio show. For one of the teams, I think it's Farm Bureau, it's like they have the president of Farm Bureau coming in to be like the person. And so they needed one more person. I got a couple DMs. I apparently had missed these DMs, but I am their first ever like social media influencer, celebrity person. So that was interesting, and like, I don't know, I felt like a little weird because like I don't ever call myself like an influencer, and they're like, we have this influencer here, and people are like, why are you here? No one was really like, why are you here? But it was just like when I was talking to people, and they're like, what is this about? So anyway, so all these different teams, like we compete for like showmanship, like the actual steer themselves gets judged, and then it's like the crowd favorite and like donations and like stuff like that. And then there's like there's an auction online, and then they also do an auction of the animal. The animal doesn't really get sold. It's just a donation in honor of Ronald McDonald House. And so there's all these different ways that we're like fundraising. And then, so basically I just need to do some promotion online to get people to be donating just to help out on my end. And then, so we do the show on July 30th. Yeah, July 30th. And so like we'll go, there's going to be like a media hour, you know, people will come in and like look at the animals and get to know the people, and then we'll do the show. And then they won't announce in the moment like which team like raised the most funds, because they have to do like all the tallying of like the online auction, the steer show, like all these different things. But it's a competition to see who can like raise the most money for Ronald McDonald House. And so in the afternoon we went and toured Ronald McDonald House. So basically, like if you have a child that is at like Nationwide Children's, if you have a child that's like in the hospital, and you need a place to stay, so say you're like going in for chemo treatments, it's basically for anyone who lives 35 miles away from the hospitals. They work with, the hospital works with, what do you call the person who, like caseworkers. They contact Ronald McDonald House. They set it up so that families can stay near the hospital. And basically, their idea is like they want it to feel like a house, like you're not staying in some random hotel. And they have like all these different rooms for like the kids. They have like a princess room for girls where they can like put on dresses, and they have like cute little outfits. They have like a tree house inside. They have a Blue Jackets room, and it's basically like all these different Columbus areas like send money and donate these things to provide for this house. No one has to pay anything while they stay. They do a suggested $20 donation per night as a suggested donation amount for the family staying there. But like if you think about that, like a hotel usually costs $200 a night. If you can get your whole family to stay there, and they provide free meals, and they have like laundry, they have TVs in the room. So it's basically like, while you are dealing with probably one of the worst things in your life, like a sick child, like they're trying to take the burden off of you for other things. I know I will get some stats of like how many like local people to our county have been helped. I do know someone who spent some time there. They had a preemie, and so that preemie was in the hospital for weeks and weeks, and it basically allowed them to stay there, not worry about driving hours back and forth every single day. So just a really, really great charity, really impressive. I think they have like 36 full-time staff, and everything else relies on volunteers. And so like, I know like nationwide, they'll send a whole bunch of volunteers in on different days, different schedules to like provide meals. They have, I really liked this, is they have a group of retired construction workers who like, and handymans who like patch holes and like and like do renovations and stuff like that, which is just like so sweet and just like so touching. And it was just fun just seeing all the different ways like people are helping out. Just like it's like a slim crew, and they get a whole lot done with volunteer help. So it feels like a really great organization to be supporting. So that's kind of what that's all about. I was like, I'm gonna have a leg up with this thing. So my steer and kid, they were at a show this weekend, so I haven't met them. And then the person from IGS had a delayed.
You had met them, or you hadn't?
I had not met them.
Oh, okay.
And so then my person on my team for IGS, they had a delayed flight. So I haven't met with any of my team yet. I was the only member of my team that was at the event.
So whose steer were you walking around?
They just brought 3 steers, and it was incredibly hot too. So some people just chose not to bring theirs, but they had enough that we could all switch in and out and like get to have a practice in the ring. So I think I need to meet up with my team sometime in advance so we can figure out the logistics of like, we have to have a team name. We need to figure out like our outfits. Like some people like coordinate their outfits. We have to kind of figure out our strategy, and maybe like, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be the person walking the steer or if it's going to be the person from IGS. Obviously I'm going to like say, hey, I think I should be the person because I have like dairy beef experience. But we'll see. I won't be like pushy. If he's like interested in walking it, that's totally fine. But yeah, so showing the steers is like more work than dairy beef. So I also like, I was like telling people like, oh, like I have experience, like I'm not too worried about this. But then like when I was working with the kids, they're like, oh, make sure you're like turning this way for the judge, and you actually want to hold the show stick like this, and you want to keep the head up, and you like the stance and this and that. And I was like, oh, I need, like, since I've hyped myself up and I've pretended like I know what I'm doing, I actually like really need to figure this out so I don't look like a fool. And so like I'm like, I talked to like Lacey Evans, like she used to show steers, and she's like, you can come and you can practice with Snow, which is like her cow. And I need to watch tape so that I don't look like a fool, because like I've set the bar high for myself. Which
I've only walked a steer one time in my life, and I remember I similarly was like, oh, I should dairy beef, I know what I'm doing. And then the steer was like twice the size of our dairy beef cattle. And I was like, never mind, I have no idea what I'm doing.
And like I have no, I'm not worried that like, I know these steers are like, these are steers that they're showing every weekend. They are super like tame, docile. Like it's more about me just making sure I know where I'm supposed to be standing, how I'm supposed to be holding things, that I'm looking at the judge in the right way. I was getting crossed up a little bit of like how I need to stand, because you're never supposed to
be between the judge and the cow.
Be between the judge and the cow, and like make sure that you always turn this way if you need to like reset them up. So I need to make sure I know
was reading through your comments of you asking people for tips, and the one where it's like, you shouldn't have to use your show stick at all. Like you want them to just walk and then stand in the right position.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, that's so much easier said than done.
It's so easier said than done. People were saying like my outfit, someone's like, you have to be wearing Wranglers. They did make the comment, they're like, because like last year, like there was some, like Huntington Bank had like blinged out green cowgirl boots on with like skinny jeans, and they were like, you have to have your jeans over your boots, like
Got it.
Just trying to explain to people like this is how you should look and stuff. And like I don't have bootcut jeans at the moment. And so like I got some wide-legged jeans, but they have a little rip on the back pocket. And so I'm like, oh, that's not gonna work. So I think I need to invest in another pair of jeans just for this event. And like I think you're supposed to wear a show shirt. But like they were also like some teams were getting like team t-shirts and stuff. So like I don't know, I have to figure out the outfit of it all.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. Like this will be like an easy way for me to share online about like the in game. Obviously, is like I'm sharing about this so that people donate. And so like I'm kind of excited to like maybe work with some people and get some posts out there of like my journey to like learning how to show this steer as like a way to promote this good cause. So.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I know. I wanted to come out and see you show, but it's like 2 days before you come to New York, and so it doesn't make sense for me to go home. But
I know I'll
be there in spirit.
I know I have one extra ticket, but like it's a work day, so like I was thinking, Dad, but it's going to be a long day, a lot of walking, and I won't be able to be with him most of the time. So I was thinking that might not be a good fit. I'm sure Mom's going to be working. I was thinking my friend Lacey, like. She potentially, if she wanted to come up to the fair, she'd be like a fun. It's like, I mean, I have like a $12 ticket. It might just be easiest for me to just go alone because I can just like focus on myself and not any other logistics.
What if I flew out and then flew back to New York with you?
I mean, that might be insane, but it'd be fun.
It's the 30th?
It'd be so nice. This is so like.
It's a Tuesday?
Yes. At this John Deere Creator event, Laura's husband was there and he was like taking all of her film for her, and so she could like be in the videos and he was getting all the content, and I was like, I would just so love to have someone follow me around to get my videos and stuff for me. It would relieve so much stress of like being in the moment and like not worrying about like getting the stuff. I don't know, like actually like yesterday it wasn't bad at all because like so no one from my team was there, but I knew a couple people, and like I just handed my phone to some girl and was like, can you please just video everything I'm doing, do whatever, get whatever angles you get, please. But it's like it's always embarrassing to be like, hey random person, will you film me existing? But yeah, I don't know.
With time, act confident, no one will question you.
Yeah. Or get
I have an event that day, so I will not be there, but I'll be there in spirit. Well, I feel like we had other things to talk about, but I'm losing steam. I'm so tired. Do you have fun weekend plans?
No, someone's here at the shop. I'm going to go out and see what's up with that. I have so much work I need to catch up on because essentially I was gone the entire week, and I have a busy week coming up. So unfortunately, it is work. And then I need to go to Mom and Dad's house and get training on how to care for Rumi, because I'm going to be in charge of Rumi and Scoot next week.
Rumi Muffin. Oh, that's nice.
So.
I'm going with Elinor today. We're going swimsuit shopping because she leaves for her honeymoon in a week.
Oh, where are they going?
Santa Barbara.
Ooh.
And then tomorrow I'm going to a movie theater where you like get dinner served to you.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna go see Inside Out 2, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, I've heard good things about it. I wonder if Dad will go with me to the. Well,
I just asked Dad
busy.
if he wanted to go see it, and Dad was like, "No, that's probably not a show for me." And I was like, "Dad, it's so good."
Oh, I might take myself to the movies this week then and go see that one night.
I know. I want to see Ennui. She's like boredom, and I just feel like I relate to that character a lot.
That's so funny. Yeah, I haven't looked too much into it. I've just heard good things, and I loved the first one. So.
Oh, I know. It was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, sister friend.
Okay. Well, it's been great talking to you. Great catching up. I feel like we had so much to talk about. I could have talked for another 2 hours.
I know.
But, okay.
She's a sister. She's a friend. She's a sister, friend. Okay, see you next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.